Hi, welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe? And now let's get on with today's video. Today I am going to show you how to make a folio out of really cheap folders that your kids probably have laying around. And since it's the end of the school year, this might be a really good time to go and look through their stuff to see what they're throwing away or what's been thrashed, because we know in the junk journaling world that one man's trash or one kid's trash is really your own treasure. So today I'm going to show you how to make this out of this. And this is one of these old, everybody's got some of these report covers. I even had some name on it, and I turned it into this gorgeous beauty. So let me show you. We're gonna do a quick flip through and then we'll get into this. So I put some fabric on the front and kind of gave it like a Parisian theme. And then I went to town with my, I still have glue on my fingers. Went to town with my old Webster's dictionary that I found at an antique bookstore. So, and it's not really an antique, it's just one of those ones that's just old and everybody's got a copy of it. So anyway, what I did was I took a bunch of dictionary pages and just pretty much slapped them all on here so that we would have all the amount covered. And this guy here used to be a purple. Yes, that's right, purple. I'm gonna show you, I'm not lying. There's the purple right peeking out there. So it used to be a purple file folder, and I covered the whole thing up and made it into this, just, I don't know, this just makes me so happy. Just this feast for the eyes, I think, for myself. Anyway, okay, so it opens up like this and closes up, opens up. And inside, let's take a little tour. We'll start at the left and move towards the right. So over here, I have a little piece of wax paper that I made into a bag, and then I put a tea bag with tea rose that I drew on there, kind of glued that on there. Then okay, that's the insides and pockets, I guess I should say, are the only ones that I didn't really put the pages into, but I did put it everywhere else. So I wanted to have something else here, just, to give it a little bit of visual interest. And then I have this garment tag that has the little cut up thing. And then I coffee dyed just a bill envelope. And I did a horrible job, but that's okay because it adds interest, right? And anyway, there's some just coffee dyed paper to journal onto a little bit of a list that I had. And then this is so cute. It's a tiny little book that I made out of, this way, out of my Amazon paper that, I get in the dog food box. So anyway, what was I saying? One man's trash is another one's little mini book. All right, so go back in. All right, there's just a bunch of goodies in there that don't want to stay. Okay, there we go. So there's an envelope and a tag. Oh, and then I made these little butterflies in another video. They're so cool. Plastic cool butterflies. I don't even know what they're called. Plastic cool butterflies. That sounds good. And then this one has a crocheted flower that I put on there with a brad. And actually I needed to cover that up with a little bit of masking tape. You'll see that in another side just so that it doesn't keep catching. And then here I made kind of like a faux pocket journal-y thing. Okay, so I've been coffee dyeing like a crazy person, and I have this ugly yellow paper that was extremely bright. This is like come down several notches into this really lovely mustard color. You can tell, there it is. See what it looked like before? And so I just kind of made this little faux pocket deal. Anyway, so I coffee dyed some of that stuff too. And there's just an index card that's been coffee dyed, some leftovers from the front, and this really pretty card. So I just kind of tuck those in. And then this is a piece of cardstock that I added lined paper and a little bit of this, and it says thankful, and then it says we give thanks to thee, oh Lord. Anyway, so that's on there. Okay, and then a piece of, I guess, an index from an old book. And I put it underneath because when I put it on top, it covered up the thankful, but I just wanted another spot. And then this I made out of a list pad and just some old cardboard. So that's behind there. And then more of that dictionary paper. And that just gets here so that when you folded this over, and if this turns upside down, your stuff's not going to be flying out. So that's really what that little flap is there for. On this one, I have a little pocket that I made just with some, I think it was that old Amazon paper. This is actually a coaster, drink coaster from BJ's restaurant, and it had beer paraphernalia on it, which we don't drink, so I just covered both the front and the back. And it's actually nice weight cardstock, and so I just put that in there. I think that is the only thing I have in there. And then let's see, okay, into here, this part, I thought this is really neat, and I've seen these on several different, none of this is, by the way, my own idea, other than using the report folios instead of the manila folders, which, you know, you can use either one. But I've seen these little tabby things, and what you do is just use a hole punch to make just a circle, and then poke a hole through it and put a brad in it, and it's done. So this one I covered up with a little piece of masking tape, and then put one here too so that you can kind of close them up. So inside I have just a stamped bookmark that I made, and it's a quote from Emily Dickinson. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul. Isn't that beautiful? So I love that. And then just some cardstock that I had, some lovely French toile paper, another paper, and coffee dyed paper. And I didn't even, other than cover up the prices, I didn't really do anything to these. These are not bound up. They're just journaling spots. And what I wanted to do was kind of stagger them in their sizes, put a bookmark, and have all of these things in here. Lovely little findings, I think. All right, so there's that. And then here, super lazy way to do things. So you can actually put something else here, but I put a rubber band. I have a bunch of elastic left for making masks, and I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of elastic here, but this just comes out because if you're going to use this or reuse it, I like it to be like a file folder. This is a little bit of that paper from the front right there, and I found this lovely mushroom image, and then this damask, however you want to say it, cardstock. I added some cream colored papers, and just, you know, there's not really anything to it, poked 2 holes and did this. And this only has 4 sheets, so 8 pages in there. I was thinking I might add some more. I just didn't want this to be crazy bulky. So, you know, you can always do that, because guess what? This is just twine, and twine is cheap. So I can always change my mind on that later. But, you know, this is the first time making this, so I had to kind of figure out what I want to do. Down here, I just decoupaged a napkin, and then I took that same napkin and just kind of put it here with a little bit of music sheet. And then here you can see some of the purple peeking out. So I'm going to just kind of tack that down. I wanted to leave it to actually show you, yes, this was a folder from my kids' stuff. So just a piece of coffee dyed and maybe some ink dyed stuff. And then this is just cardstock that I added and sewed a little bit of stuff on it to add to that red color, that pop of red in the middle of all these dictionary pages, if you will. So that is it. I added masking tape on the edges, and then I glued this piece of gauze, and then I added a little clock charm. I just thought that was super duper cute. And that's it. So that is my folder journal folio deal. Okay, and the way I did this is, and I have two of them made up. So this one actually has this in the middle because, you know, you're just going through your kids' stuff. So that's what you've got. I left, I'm going to zoom out here. Oh, that's just how it is. Okay, I thought I had zoomed in. So this is just how the folder is, you know, like that. And so because most of the papers are like 8.5 by 11, I wanted this to be about like 8.5 or 9 inches so that when I folded my papers up, that's the length I would get, or the height I would get. That's the only magical part to this. And then I just folded it over, and then I cut out this section and then this and this. So I'm going to show you what I did. This one, oh, this one has another book in there. I don't even think I haven't even sewn this signature in, but this I thought goes really nicely with the blue. And so this is how it is. So this is the folder, the beat up. This one was super beat up, but really just like from Walmart, 10 cents or something like that. This does not have a divider, but it has some of these scoring marks so that you get a nice kind of spine on this guy. So all I did again was measured it out, or eyeballed it, because you know I don't measure, so I shouldn't lie, and eyeballed it and put it down like this. And then you just cut this section out, this one, or keep whichever sections you want. But I'm thinking I want the middle ones, and then that way I can tuck things into the outside. So I cut this. I'm gonna do that now. And I didn't use any fancy tools on this at all, which makes this super nice because, you know, you don't need to run out and buy stuff. Just use what you've got. And this should give you incentive to go and clean out your paperwork and files in your kids' rooms and folders and stuff like that, because all that's getting ready to kind of come home from school. So, okay. The nice thing about this is when you cut this out, you've got a little card, even a journaling card to tuck in, and it gives a nod to what this used to be, which is what I like. I like it when things kind of remind me of what it used to be. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. That used to be a file folder. That's so cool. And so you can have it that way. And then the other thing that you can do, I just noticed this. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to shake that. This has a little spot that, you know, like you could put a business card in it or something. So you can even have a little ready-made like tuck spot. So double bonus. Okay, so when you have this, you could, in essence, just have this down and then fold it up. But because I like the idea of having something different, what you want to do is just cut this out so that it gives this a little bit of space. I'll show you why in just a second. So just kind of cut out the middle piece and toss that away. Toss. Okay, so now we have kind of the makings of the file folder. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so I cut one of them like this, and I just kind of, I'll show you how I did that. I just kind of eyed it, you know, just so that it would look even. This one I didn't cut, and you can already tell it's bending because when you close it, sometimes it gets munched in there. And even if you didn't mean it to, it still bends. So you want to be able to cut a little bit. So since it's already bending this way, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I just, seriously, I'm not measuring again. I don't know what this is. Okay. So I take this and then you just flip it the other way and hold it here, and it's going to give you the same exact measurement so that your tab looks even. That's it. That's how you do it. Done. So now you have the two pockets the way that you would like to have them. Let me see what I did. Oh, I closed this up. I shouldn't have done that. All right, so what I did here, oh, I put a little divot in here, or I think it was that way in the other one. Okay, so what you might want to do, it's entirely up to you. These pockets come out mainly because this section is here. If you have a file folder like this one, what I'm going to recommend you do, and I'm going to do this so you don't have to, instead of putting a rubber band here and having this hanging out here, I'm actually going to poke holes using my Crop-A-Dile, and I'm going to just mark this where it is, just, you know, mark it with a pen or whatever, poke some holes, and then just actually have this kind of sitting in here, which I think is going to look really amazing. So when you open it up, it will be like that. So that's my plan on this guy. And then another plan that I have for this is, because it is a red folder, I don't actually want to cover it all the way up. And so I coffee dyed from my Disney book, which I've got like 3 videos on it now. I'm making a glue book out of it. I took out the story of Snow White, and because she's called Rose Red, she is going to be the star of this folio. And so just stay tuned for that video as well. But I just kind of wanted to give you like a part 1 on how to make a folio folder, and then come back and we're going to make the Snow White, Rose Red folio next. And I think it'll be just great fun to be able to use all these coffee dyed papers that just really got stuck to one another and are looking kind of cool. So come back for that video, and until next time, see you then. Bye.